Pastor Darrell Scott, frequent and valued guest of this program at the White House yesterday, made news for saying Chicago gangs want to work with President Trump to fight crime. Just roll that tape, please.
I was recently contacted by some of the top gang thugs in Chicago for a sit-down. They reached out to me because they associated me with you. They respect you. They believe in what you're doing, and they want to have a sit-down about lowering that body count. They want to work with this administration. They believe in this administration. They didn't believe in the prior administration. They told me this out of their mouth.
All right, now Pastor Darrell Scott joins us right now. Pastor, this is the engagement that we've been waiting for. This is the engagement of the, if you want, two sides that we want to see. We were delighted to hear you bring that up at the White House yesterday, Pastor.
Well, yes. First of all, let me say thanks for having me on. And Juan did lose. You defeated Juan in that battle. So we have to go on record with that. He lost. He lost again. But, you know, I used the improper vernacular when I referred to them as gang thugs. I meant to say former gang thugs. These were guys that were formerly in the street life in Chicago. But they're well respected in the streets still. They have their hands on the pulse of the community. They are actively engaged with the guys that are in the streets. And they contacted me, and only because of my proximity to the president. I was contacted by Brother Torrance Cook, and he's a friend of a friend who connected us, and he wants to be very proactive in addressing some of the issues that they have in Chicago. And so, among other things, I told him, I said, man, we need to work together and try to reduce that body count. We need to try to lower that murder rate. You know, it's out of hand, and we're going to get together. And so that is the purpose of our engagement, and Mr. Trump embraced it. Wholeheartedly. We were watching the meeting at the White House, and two things popped up here. Number one, the mood, the feeling within that meeting seemed to be very, very amicable. We didn't see any angry people there. We saw a lot of smiling faces, and we're not used to that in that kind of meeting. And secondly, it occurred to us that what we were looking at was the rise of a new black representation at the highest level of politics. I didn't see Sharpton there. I didn't see the Reverend Jesse Jackson there. I saw you and people like you there, and that to us was very different. Yes, and I don't take it for granted. I don't take it lightly. Mr. Trump, for whatever reason, he allows us access and he lends us his ear. I can't deny it. I can't turn it down. There's a scripture in the Bible that says you've been called to the kingdom for such a time as this. You know, and so he gives us this access, and he lends us his ear, and when we offer suggestions to him, he's able to process them very quickly, and he's always helpful. He has never denied me anything that I've requested, so I appreciate the fact that he very much wants to engage with the African-American community. I've been trying to tell everybody, I've been a voice crying in the wilderness, he wants to engage, and he wants to do something to alleviate whatever depressed or disenfranchised conditions that we experience. He really wants to help, and he listens and he filters, and he's going to send aid in on these in these communities.
Now, President Trump was at the National Prayer Breakfast this morning, and he said freedom isn't given by government, it is a gift from God. Roll that tape, please.
Our republic was formed on the basis that freedom is not a gift from government, but that freedom is a gift from God.
There you have it in the president's own words. You heard it, Pastor. What's your response?
Those are some great words, you know, and, you know, those words are based upon our Constitution that said all men are created equal, that we're endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights, and freedom is something that God placed in the heart of man, the desire for freedom. We have something in us that we can't be bound, caged, or restricted. It's against our nature, and so I'm glad that Mr. Trump did express that. And once again, that goes back to different communities that we have that feel oppressed, that feel disenfranchised. It's our job as neighbors, as our brother's keepers, to try to alleviate, if we have the power to do so, alleviate any, you know, depressed or deplorable conditions that our brothers and sisters are in. And so, you know, for me to have this access to the president and not use it on behalf of the black community, I'd be doing a disservice to our country. So I'm just doing the best I can to help our people.
If you were next to me, Pastor, I would give you another bro hug. But since you're way out there, 1,000 miles away, I won't do it. But we remember it well, Pastor. We really do. Come and see us again soon, please, sir.
Thank you for having me. God bless you.
God bless you, sir.